everyone. Let us start today's class with a small recap. So in the last class, we started a new chapter that is circles, which is related to geometry, and we learned there many more concepts. And the two important concepts which I want to recall again are what is tangent and what is secant. So let us recall one by one. Tangent. So tangent is a line which meets a circle or which intersects the circle exactly at one point. And what is secant? Secant is also a line but which intersects a circle at 2 points. So this is the difference between a tangent and a secant. Now, compared to secant, we use much here tangent in this chapter. So to understand more about tangent, let us start a theorem, that is theorem 10.1. So what it states, the tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. So before I start a theorem, you may be feeling that what is the meaning of this theorem. You have learned last year, that is Euclid division, Euclid chapter, where you know what is difference between axiom, postulate and theorem. So theorem is a statement which can be proved by using some other statements. So now I can prove this theorem by using the previous concepts. So again let me read what is this. The tangent at any point of a circle. The tangent at any point of a circle. So here I have drawn a tangent AB at a point of a circle, that is P, is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. So what is the radius here? You can see here OP is a radius, this is a radius. So I have to prove that this radius is perpendicular to the tangent. Means I have to prove that here the angle is 90 degree. So what he has given. So for any theorem, if you want to prove a theorem, there are 3 steps for a theorem. That is, first you have to write compulsory a given part, and then you have to write to prove. If construction is required, you have to take a construction concept and then you have to prove it. So these are the steps you have to follow to prove any theorem. Now let us start what he has given in the question and what he asked to prove. So given a circle, so here you have a circle that is with center O and radius R, and also he has given a tangent AB at a point P, means this is a point of contact. And what I have to prove it? I have to prove that this radius OP is perpendicular to the tangent, that is AB. So it's clear? I have to prove OP is perpendicular to AB. Means what is OP here? The radius is perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact. So I have to prove that. Now directly I can't prove that. So I need a construction. For that, what is construction here? Take any point Q. So I have to take any point Q other than P on the tangent AB. Means other than P, I have to take one point on the tangent AB. So let me take a point Q other than a point P on this tangent AB, and then join OQ. So I am joining here OQ. So you can see here a triangle is formed OPQ. And the next, so we have learned what is given, what is to prove, and what is the construction. And the last concept, I have to prove the theorem. So before I prove this theorem, then let me explain the basic knowledge which is related to this proof. So let here consider a line L. Consider a line L and take a point O which is not on the line L. Take a line L and take a point O which is not on the line, and take some points on the line and join these line segments. So I got here OA, OB and OP and OC and OD. So one line you can observe here, this line, among all these lines, one line will be perpendicular to the line. So here one line segment, that is the line segment OP is perpendicular to L. So can the other lines are also perpendicular? No, it is impossible. Out of all these line segments, any one line can be perpendicular. So here I have drawn OP is perpendicular to the line, and other line segments I have drawn here. And just here you can see OPA is a right angle triangle formed. As you know that angle opposite side is hypotenuse, and you know that this is the longest side of the right angle triangle. See, OA is the longest. So in this triangle, if OA is longest, which is shortest? Exactly, OP will be the shortest. And again take another triangle OPB. In triangle OPB, if this is 90 degree, which is hypotenuse here? OB. So again, OB will be the longest side and OP is the shortest. So like this, if I consider all these triangles, I can prove that OP is the shortest. Now you can conclude that the shortest line segment from the point to a line is perpendicular. You can observe here, among all these line segments, only the shortest line segment is perpendicular to the line. So keeping this in mind, let us prove the theorem. Now let us prove the theorem. So just now we got conclusion that the shortest side among all these line segments, the shortest side will be perpendicular to the given line. So when you compare the previous what I explained that concept to this, so if I prove that the OP line, you can see here OP is the shortest side. If I prove that OP is the shortest side, then I can prove indirectly that OP is perpendicular to the given line, because as we know that out of all the lines with line segments which I have drawn from point to a line, the shortest side will be the perpendicular. So if I prove OP is, I can't prove directly that here angle is 90 degree, but indirectly if I prove that this is the shortest side, then I can prove that this radius OP is perpendicular to the given tangent. Now you can see here I have only two line segments in this triangle, OP and OQ. Now I have to prove out of OQ and OP, I have to prove that OP is the shortest. Now here you can see that I have joined here OQ. When you join OQ, now do you think that Q lies outside the circle or inside the circle or on the circle? See here, since Q is a point on the tangent AB other than point of contact, as you know that the tangent meets exactly at one point. So with this you can conclude that Q cannot be on the circle or Q cannot be inside the circle. If Q is inside the circle, it becomes a secant. And Q cannot be on the circle because this is a tangent. Because it is a tangent will meet exactly at one point. So I can conclude that Q should be on the tangent and outside the circle. So since Q is a point on the tangent AB other than point of contact P, so Q will be, very important concept here, so Q will be outside the circle. It cannot be inside. If it is inside, it will become secant. So because we have taken a point Q on the tangent, it cannot be on the circle or it cannot be inside the circle. So it should be outside the circle. So now you can see, and this line, that is line segment OQ, intersects at one point, that mark this point as R. So let us mark that point. So you can see here, let OQ intersect the circle at a point R. Now, see, you can see here OQ. OQ consists of OR and RQ. So can I write OQ as OQ equals to OR plus RQ. So by seeing this, can I conclude that OQ is greater than OR? So how? For this, let me give an example. If I take that 4 equals to 1 plus 3, everyone agree? 4 equals to 1 plus 3. Can I tell that 4 is greater than 1 and also 4 is also greater than 3? So the same, if you apply here, I can tell, since OQ equals to OR plus RQ, I can tell OQ is greater than OR. And so we don't want OR, so I want OP. Now you can just look at the diagram. OR and OP, are they same? Yes. OR and OP both are same because they are radial. So I can replace this OR by OP. So now we got OQ is greater than OP. Now you can see here, when OQ is greater than OP, can I write OP is less than Q? OQs, for example, if I have 3 is greater than 2, so I can write 2 is less than 3. So compare this and write, if OQ is greater than OP, I can write OP is less than OQ. Since OP is less than OQ, which is shortest? OP is the shortest. So what we want actually, we want to prove that OP is the shortest. Then I can conclude that OP is perpendicular to the tangent. So since OP is shortest, so I can write that OP is perpendicular to A. Let us continue the exercise 10.1. In the previous class, I completed the first main and second main. Now let us continue with third question. So what is third question says? A tangent PQ at a point P. So look at the circle and try to understand the question. So a tangent PQ at a point P of a circle means, so you cannot take a point P here, you have to take a point P on the circle, and this is called as point of contact, because he has given P is a point on the tangent and also of a circle. So the point will be as a point of contact. Of radius 5 cm. You know this will be the radius. So mark this as center O, and this OP is given as 5 cm. Meets a line through the center O. Meets a line means this line it meets through the center O at a point Q. So that OQ is 12 cm. Given OQ is 12 cm, and I need to find the length of PQ. Options are given here, 4 options. Now let us find which is the correct option. And as you learned theorem 10.1, what the theorem 10.1 says? The radius drawn to the tangent at the point of contact is always perpendicular to the tangent. So can I mark here 90 degree? And you can see what type of triangle is formed here. Yes, it is a right angle triangle. OPQ. So in a right angle triangle, among 3 line segments or 3 sides, if I know any 2 sides, and if I want to find the third side, which formula you can use? That is Pythagoras formula. So now let us use the Pythagoras formula and find the third side of this triangle, that is PQ. Now which is hypotenuse here? OQ. So I can write the formula. Since in a triangle OPQ, since OP is perpendicular to PQ, who told this OP is perpendicular to PQ? It is by theorem 10.1. So I can write OQ square equal to OP square plus PQ square, which is called Pythagoras formula. And OQ as given as 12 square equals to OP as given as 5 square plus PQ square, right as it is. 12 square is 144. 5 square is 25. When you bring this side, it becomes minus 25. And you have here PQ square. And when this square comes on the other side, it becomes root. So 144 minus 25 is 119. So PQ can be written as square root of 119. So among 4 options, option D is correct. Let us move for the next question, that is question number 4. And this is very simple question which they may not ask in your exam. Only this is a logical question which you can understand. So he has given draw a circle. So I have drawn a circle and 2 lines. You have to draw 2 lines parallel to a given line such that one is tangent and the other is a secant. Means I have to draw 2 lines. Among 2 lines, one should be tangent and the other should be secant, and both should be parallel to each other. So if I take the point of contact here, let me draw a tangent. So mark it as tangent AB, and which meets a point P. So I can tell this as a tangent because this meeting point is only at one point, that is P. So I got a tangent. Now I have to draw another line which is called secant. Now let me draw another line which is secant. So mark this as a line L, and you can see this line meets at 2 points. So I can call it as secant, and which both are parallel to each other. So when you measure the angle here, it should be 90 degree. Or sum of 2 angles here should be, co-interior angle should be 180. Then we can tell that these 2 lines are parallel. So one is secant and one is tangents, which are parallel to each other. So in this session, I completed the 10.1 exercise. And in the next session, I am going to teach another theorem which is very important theorem, that is theorem 10.2. and applications, few applications on the theorem. Thank you.